Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so we have until the end of September, beginning of October, for the House to pass about a dozen spending bills to keep the government funded. Otherwise, there will be a federal government shutdown. Now, I put up my last video. I was incorrect on some of the things that would happen. But basically, anybody who's paid by the federal government is not going to be getting a paycheck. That's kind of the very simple way of putting it. So a lot of federal workers will be in a hard way if the government shuts down. Now, leading the charge for the shutdown is the Freedom Caucus, the MAGA faction of the House of Representatives on the Republican side, basically saying if the government doesn't do a wide variety of ridiculous non-starter items like, dismiss all the charges against Donald Trump. The guy who's innocent. So if he's innocent, why does he need the charges dismissed? That type. Defund Social Security. No, just crazy stuff. And there was basically Matt Gaetz going on TV basically saying that if McCarthy doesn't give them everything they want, they're going to vote to remove him as Speaker of the House, which led to probably a colorful exchange during a Republican meeting where McCarthy was alleged to have said, pass an effing spending bill, and if you want to remove me, then just effing do it. So, all's fun in paradise over there. So, first question. Will we have a government shutdown in October? Beginning of October. Entertainment purposes only. Huge burden. Part of the problem is that Congress doesn't have enough time to pass all these bills they need to pass, and they don't have the votes that they need to pass it. And then you've got the Freedom Caucus acting like a bunch of radical extremist insurrectionists that they are. Call it like you see it. So they're going to make things really difficult. And they chain themselves to the devil. Remember, one of the first things they want all the charges against Donald Trump dropped. MAGA party, fascism, Donald Trump, they're all one and the same thing. And Trump was the one who was telling Republicans they should shut the government down previously, and he's going to get that government shut down. Again, Page of Pentacles. Part of this is because of all the charges against Trump for election interference and for MAGA party members about election interference. Again, I think previously, I don't think I said this, but people were concerned that federal cases might stop investigating if they're not getting paychecks. No, that's not going to be the case. This is not going to stop any court cases. They're outside of the purview of this budget. But this fight, these requests, these demands, they're by people who are involved in the insurrection. And of course, there's going to be the obligatory grifting and fundraising off of this. You can also think of this as immature people with money trying to hold up the money process with their immature ideas. But yeah, chaining themselves to it. The other thing with the MAGA crowd is the Freedom Caucus, no, they're MAGA crowd. They don't give themselves an out. They back themselves into a corner, and then they don't have a way to save face. You should always give yourself an exit. Always give yourself a way to save face so you can compromise on something. We all say things in the heat of the moment, but the art is to say something in the heat of the moment, but give yourself an out. So when you're out of the heat of the moment and then you realize what you said was a really bad idea, you can backtrack on it and save face. In the past, the moon, secrets, again, this is like backroom dealings and such, but this is also the MAGA crowd trying to keep their role in the insurrection and election interference secret. And they will do anything they can to delay things because they want Donald Trump back in office so that he can pardon them all. The problem is Trump won't pardon them. That's not his jam. Trump will do things that benefit Trump. So if you want a pardon and you got $10 million, well, you might be able to get a pardon at that point. But just because you're Matt Gaetz and you're super loyal, and that's going to get you nothing unless it also comes with a $10 million check. Current situation is the world. A government shutdown, believe it or not, even though it means that federal government employees aren't being paid, it does impact the world. One of the things it does is it impacts the United States credit rating. Between the threats of government shutdowns and the constant threats that a budget's not going to get passed, I think it was Moody's recently, but the U.S. credit rating got dropped from like AAA to AA plus, which makes loans more expensive and all sorts of stuff. This is not good. The world is also watching, but this is also MAGA coming full circle, trying to hold, the entire country hostage. 20 or 30 people trying to hold the country hostage. And they're going to see this through. I do think, there will be a shutdown. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be very long, but they intend to do it. They want their way and they're going to get it. The overarching energy is the sun. Truth is coming out on this party. So they're trying to flex their power. They're trying to do whatever they can while they still have the authority and the power to do it. Whatever secrets they've had in the past, those secrets are now being revealed. And we've seen that with all the court cases, that secrets are coming out. Notice all the major arcana. We're already 4 out of 5 major arcana on this one. And there's also secrets again about the election interference. And so they're acting out. They're trying to do whatever they can to stifle the election, stifle the secrets coming out, stifle the news cycles so that people are talking about things like the government shutdown and not talking about all the revelations with the court cases. Realize, again, the whole Trump strategy is always a public relations campaign. Just convince people that you're right and everybody else is wrong. So when this evidence comes out, you have to come up with something outrageous that steals the oxygen out of the news cycle. So you're not talking about the latest evidence found. You're talking about the government being shut down. Another major arcana. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 7 cards here. This being number 7. Temperance. It's going to take a while for the sides to agree. This is McCarthy's fault. McCarthy could very well reach out to the Democrats and get something done. He refuses to do so. He's trying to keep everything Republican, us versus them, red versus blue. And because he's trying to do that and trying to show, it's funny, he's trying to show mastery of his own party. And it truly is a circus. And they are his monkeys. And, he's going to try and fix it. And the government's going to be shut down because of it. I might start walking back a little bit how long this government's going to be shut down. I was thinking it might be a few days. It might be longer than that. It really depends on how quickly McCarthy starts wheeling and dealing. One of the things that he could do was just extend the current budget or the current spending for like another 3 months, kick the can down to December or so. That's an option, and maybe that's what he ends up doing, but he's not doing it right now. The outcome, working on the money. This whole budgetary process is going to go long. This temperance card could very well be McConnell and folks in the Senate talking with McCarthy and trying to strategize with him, get him to ignore these young people and get back to work on working on the budget. There might be deals that go through there. And I think the other reason why McConnell would be in on this is anything that the House Republicans put out there as a budget has to go to the Senate. And the Senate has to approve it. And McConnell might just very well say, these are non-starters. Get those out. Get your people in line. And then McCarthy's going to be like, well, then I won't be able to pass a budget. Yeah. It's a problem, isn't it? Simple government function. I do think what will happen is McCarthy will kick the can down the road. He'll basically reach out to Democrats and then basically say, I have an idea. Let's do that other thing. Let's do that thing where we just continue spending under the current plan for like another 3 months, and then we'll revisit this in December. Give ourselves more time. I think he will go that way, because then he doesn't really have to negotiate a budget with the Democrats. You know what I mean? It buys him time. It kicks the can down the road, and he gets to be speaker a little bit longer. Or does he? I have my earlier readings this year. I saw McCarthy in big trouble. This is when they were trying to not raise the debt ceiling. I saw McCarthy in trouble, and I saw him, and I was guessing right around the time the budgets came through, right around this time here at the end of September, beginning October, that he was going to be in big trouble with the Freedom Caucus. And here we are, 2 weeks to go, and he is. And that they'd get the budget through, and then the Freedom Caucus were going to try and oust him as the speaker. And I believe in that reading, I said, the question I asked was, by the end of the year, is he out as speaker? Because I didn't know precisely how long these things would take. And that answer seemed to be yes. And here we are, and that looks like it'll be the right path. I think if he makes his deal with the Democrats about keeping things the way they are, then Matt Gaetz is going to start the process of removing him. And then we're going to have that whole shit show that actually really launched my channel in beginning of January this year. I had exactly one subscriber, January 1st. I did a reading on Kevin McCarthy. I sent it to Linda G. She put it on her community page. And in a couple of days, I went from one subscriber to like 120 to 150. And that one video just really launched it. So thank you, Kevin McCarthy. You've done a great job helping me grow my channel. Entertainment purposes only and all that. Okay, let's see. Will McCarthy reach out to the Democrats and just continue the program that they've got on right now? I think, yeah, it's him fighting off challengers, but he's got the high ground. This is the easiest thing for him to do because he can say he didn't cave into the Democrats and he's not a rhino and all that stuff. And it gives him an advantage against the MAGA faction. But doing this brings an end to the government shutdown, but it's going to also bring an end to his speakership. Planning, wisdom, out in the cold. Yeah, okay, so he's going to do this because there is a shutdown. These are your government workers that have been out in the cold. So he's been planning this for a while, and I've read it in the news. I'm not so clever that I thought of this. I read this. This is not David being smart. This is just good politics on his part. But he knows it'll be the end of his speakership, but it's also the wise play for the country. And maybe, just maybe, you can work out some deal with the Democrats. Again, this will end basically the lockout of the federal workers, but the MAGA faction is going to look at themselves as being kicked out and abandoned by McCarthy and his party, i.e. conservatives. Okay, so yeah, I think he's going to go that route. I really do think he's going to go the route of compromising with the Democrats and just saying, hey, let's just keep going. All right, so assuming that's the path we go down, will Lauren Boeberts, the Matt Gaetzes, and the Freedom Caucus, will they vote to remove Kevin McCarthy from the House Speakership? The House Speaker leadership position. Speaker of the House. He's not the master of the House, that's for darn sure. I'm thinking the lyrics to Master of the House from Les Mis, by the way, in case you're just wondering. Lifelong shit. Thinks he's quite a lover, but there's not much there. Queen of Cups. Does McCarthy make a deal with them to keep his job just a little bit longer? Okay, were they going to remove him? I got the Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. Oh, God, what is going on here? This is... I think that McCarthy is trying to negotiate with them to keep the lid on the party with the Queen of Cups. But I think the Matt Getzes of the world, they don't want to do it. They're going to try and one-up him with the King of Cups. There you go. Oh, yeah, they're done. McCarthy does a really good job of negotiating this bump in the road, as it were. He plays it really well. The problem is he's dealing with a bunch of emotionally immature people who are there for the fight. They're there to tear things down. And that's what they're going to do. They're basically, yeah, I did all this. Look, the government's running. We had some bad press, and I saved it all, and everybody saved face. Too bad. We told you what was going to happen, and now we're going to do it. Yeah, okay. The Freedom Caucus, in the beginning of the year, there was some agreement between McCarthy and the Freedom Caucus about all the stuff that he was going to do to help them out. And Matt Gaetz recently said that he hasn't been honoring the agreement. Ari Melber, I believe it was, asked him to... He wanted to see a copy of it. He had Gaetz on his show before, and Gaetz says, oh, yeah, I don't have the copy with me now. So months roll by. Here we go again. Melber asks him again, well, can we see this agreement? It's never been shown to the public. Oh, James Comer has my copy. Oh, you'll have to ask him. So Melber says, well, how about you just go on the show right now and ask Comer to share it with us? Are you on record saying you want him to share it? And Gaetz wouldn't commit to it because he's a miserable POS. But long segue, bring it back. The Freedom Caucus feels like McCarthy has abandoned them, and with the with the debt ceiling, he agreed with Biden on stuff, and they didn't like it, and they had a talk with him, and they were basically going to wait to see what happens with the budget in September. Well, now we're going to see what happens, and they feel like he's walked on them again. So time to bring down Kevin in his tower. Expect within hours. I don't even think it's going to be days. Within hours of McCarthy. Okay, there might be one meeting. Like after McCarthy does this, he probably meets with Gaetz and crew, make a bunch of noise. McCarthy meets with them to try and smooth things over, and they give him the middle finger, and then they start this process. That's kind of how I think it's going to go. He tries one last-ditch effort to keep the lid on everything, and they say, no, you abandoned us, we're taking you down. It's judgment time. This is exactly, McCarthy played with snakes, and he's stunned he's getting bit. This is not his father's Republican Party. And the MAGA faction are going to judge him, and they are not going to vote for him. And now the question is, was McCarthy enough of a statesman to get Democrats to keep him in there? Or are the Democrats going to say, oh, this is just too amazing. We're all going to vote no with the MAGA faction. McCarthy's out, and now there's just going to be mayhem. And the Democrats are going to sit there and just let the public see the dysfunction that is the GOP right now. I think it's going to be the latter. They really want to emphasize that the GOP in the House are just a bunch of non-serious children in very important roles. There's going to be offers that are made. I don't know if this is going to be more compromised. You know what this is? This is going to be the next people coming in, the next people that are going to be suggested for the leader of the House. We can do better than this last guy. We know better people that could be leaders. But there are no leaders on the Republican side that they can agree on. And the public is going to see just how dysfunctional they are. They're going to give Kevin, they're going to tell him to take a hike. He's going to be upset because he's no longer the Speaker of the House. But, there's some positive sides. He's no longer constantly being humiliated by the MAGA faction. He's no longer completely powerless to get stuff done and being held hostage. So there is that. But it's all argy-bargy. It's all just dysfunction for the sake of dysfunction. Social media clicks, as Bo, the fifth column, would say. Okay, I would end it here, but I know I'm going to get asked questions, so I will try and stem them as best I can. One of the questions will be, what about Hakeem Jefferies? Will the Democrats get Hakeem Jefferies in there? In other words, will the Democrats reach out and try and get, a dozen Republican votes or however many they need to get somebody like Hakeem Jefferies as the Speaker of the House? I don't know who the Republicans are going to put in there. They don't have anybody. They really don't. I don't know who they would bring in that the Democrats would respect enough to do that. All right, let's see. Will Hakeem Jefferies get a crack? I'm sure the Democrats will nominate him. Will Hakeem Jefferies be the next Speaker of the House? Probably not. Even if he was, he'd be hot. He wouldn't be able to do much. Nightmare position. Good Lord. Oh, God. This isn't telling... Okay, first off, I'd say no. I think what it's really telling me is the Congress, the House of Representatives, is held hostage because of all the fighting, all the bickering, all the arguing. This is just a toxic environment, and it's going to take a long time to resolve. This is just going to be the most amazing display of American political dysfunction that the world has ever seen. I take some solace that the federal workers will be back. All right. I do take some solace they'll be back in there. But oh my God, this is the drunken hillbilly fight at the trailer park. This is whiskey tango on steroids. Oh my. Yeah, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. What a show this is going to be. And it's all because that we're being held hostage by a small group of extremists. Jeez. Okay. I do have one follow-up on that one. Oh my God. Oh, dear God. I was listening to Trey Crowder the other day, and he used the term whiskey tango to stand for WT, which is white trash, just to explain the joke. But, oh my God, we are going to look so terrible to the rest of the world. Just laugh at it. Oh my God, just laugh at it because there's nothing we can do about it. We're serious-minded. We want compassionate leaders, but, oh, jeez. It's literally going to be a brawl in the mud. You might as well just sit back, get your popcorn ready, and enjoy the fun. Kind of like watching McCarthy get humiliated, 3 days, a week in a row at the beginning of the year with 15 votes before he finally got through. It's going to be something like that, but worse. It's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. Okay, so why am I throwing cards on this one? I want to throw cards on. Describe to me who the next Speaker of the House is going to be. Wouldn't it be funny as Nancy Pelosi again? Oh, God. Who's going to be the next Speaker of the House? to describe the qualities of the next Speaker of the House. It's unknown. It's a mystery. We don't know it yet. They're not going to reveal it. That's a poopy card. That's not the card I want. I was going to do a 4-carder. Let's go ahead. The reason why it's unknown is because they keep offering the job and he keeps saying no. Oh, it might be a woman. It might be a woman. Okay, I take that back. Instead of he, she keeps being offered the job and she keeps saying no. Holy crap. Can you imagine if it's Liz Cheney? Can you imagine if it's Liz Cheney? That would be the ultimate double FU to the MAGA crowd. Liz Cheney as Speaker of the House. And you don't have to be in Congress to be the Speaker, which is why they were suggesting Donald Trump. Oh my God, is it really Liz Cheney? Is that who we're talking about here? Okay, do I get a... It's a secret right now. It's a woman who cares a lot about the country. She doesn't want the job right now because it's just a mess. But when she does change her mind, if she changes her mind, she'll do it quickly and the vote will go through really quickly. And this is somebody who's very confident, who has the experience, and she's going to have the backing of both sides of Congress. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. I'm going to throw more on this. So, Spirit. Would Liz Cheney be somebody who would fit that last reading as somebody they might bring in to be the Speaker of the House? Would Liz Cheney be somebody who would kind of fit that description? You know, it could also be somebody like a Nikki Haley, but Nikki Haley's running for president right now. That's a kind of a conflict there. Would it be Liz Cheney? Would Liz Cheney be somebody who would fit that description? Well, sit back and wait. I don't want to wait. I want to know. I think this is this is saying, yeah, you know, it could very well be her. Let's see. Women celebrating. There's that mystery card again. And there's that Queen of Pentacles. I put these in different spots. Intemperance. Okay, I'm going on record right now. I'm going to say it's Liz Cheney. I'm going to say it's Liz Cheney or Liz Cheney-esque type person. That would be... Think about how amazing that would be. Because the MAGA faction hate her with a passion. And that would be a way for the Republicans to gain control of the House again from the extremists. Not only that, Liz Cheney has conservative cred. And the Democrats certainly appreciate the fact that she was on the January 6th committee. She was very serious-minded. And think about the quote about Liz Cheney saying that we need serious-minded people, you know, running our government. And even in my my reading today, I know I referenced that. I know I referenced that these guys they're children and we need serious-minded people. Liz Cheney. I'm gonna go on. That's Liz Cheney. That's me. I'm gonna stick with that one, and I'm holding my guns on that one. It may not pan out. She doesn't sound like she wants the job right now, and she's gonna have to think about it. Liz Cheney. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my subscribers for your likes and shares and comments to feed the YouTube algorithm beast so that these videos make it out to new viewers. And to those new viewers, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this informative and, at least by the end of it, rather entertaining as I'm bouncing up and down in my chair rooting for Liz Cheney. You know, did we ever think that we'd be rooting for Liz Cheney to be the Speaker of the House? I think most of us would rather have done our own tonsillectomy rather than do that. But you know what? She's at least shown she can be bipartisan. She's at least shown that she can lead, and she isn't going to cave to the extremists in this country. And maybe that's what we need right now from the Republican Party. It'll absolutely force that party back towards what would normally be a traditional far right leaning Republican conservative party, rather than the extremist fascist party that they're devolving into. So anyways, welcome to the new subscribers, or to the new viewers. Hope you subscribe and hang around for our videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.